Hi guys, and welcome back to the series of videos for modifications for my 2008 GSXR750. These are the items here: Speedra, previously known as SSK. 3-piece levers. I bought these in black and blue, and that's because I intend to do a fairing swap shortly on the bike, which should arrive next week. I also purchased a whole bunch of screws, bolts and miscellaneous parts to freshen up the bike, and in particular these are the ones that are applied to this install. So basically what we have here is the pin for the levers to slide on through. They'll be getting greased up so they're brand new. Again, for the other side I've got the tension adjuster. Well, I guess you could hold it for the clutch cable. So I've got a new one of those and a little screw that goes through it as well. Okay, so here we are on the brake side, and as you can see, it's just got a Phillips head screw on top and a 10mm nut on the bottom. Now, this bike is like 18 years old, and you never know what the condition of what the pin's going to be like inside here. So the best thing to do, rather than using a flathead to unbolt here, is to actually use the nut, undo the nut first. Once you start getting some breaking free of it, then you can use the screwdriver, the flathead screwdriver, afterwards. Okay, so now that part's out, just going to use a wipe to get any dirt out of there. So that's nice and clean. So I've just got some Penrite lithium moly grease, which I've used for quite a while now. So we want to grease up where this new lever goes in, and we also want to grease this pin that it will slide through. As you can see, it's got a sleeve on it, no thread there. So we'll put grease all around that, pop that through, and that's literally done. Good. Next, we start slowly screwing that through. Until it's tightened. Last thing we'll do is just give the nut a slight clean off before tightening it at the bottom. Putting a flat head on top. Probably just give it a bit of a tighten first. Oh, wrong way. So I can see the top starting to spin now. Okay, that's it. So, before and after, very nice and easy. 6-way adjustable, that's on 1, which is the closest setting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, whilst we're here, just going to bring this lever in a little bit because I've got a slightly narrow hand. Okay, so here's the hex for this one. As you can see, it's a little bit slid out from the end from factory. Just give it a slight unloosen and then you can slide this out as long as you like. Because they're 3-piece levers, in the event of the bike topping over, the levers will pop up so they don't get damaged. The idea behind that is that you can just have to replace this blue part with any colour. So in this case, because I'm going blue and black, I've gone black levers with a blue lever for the adjustment and blue for the extension. But yeah, you can pretty much choose any colour you like. Okay, so just a little bit from the end is the way I like it, so it's not max short, it's just right for me. That's good. Okay, so that's the brake side. Looks super neat. Okay, so here we are on the clutch side. Clutch side is very similar, but there is an additional part to it. So here is the clutch lever to go in. So as you can see, there is no flathead means to unwind this from the top. So there is actually only a nut. I hope this can pick up on the video, but there's a nut there on the bottom which appears to be a 10 as well. Now because the clutch switch is here and the lever is there, you can't actually get a ring spanner there, so you have to use a 10mm socket and undo it that way. Okay, so I've worked out the way to get to this little Phillips head screwdriver, and I did a search online but could not find the answer. And funnily enough, every single video that I looked at, they cut the video here and then people do all sorts of random stuff, but they get it to put the new lever in, but they never change this part here. So either they bend this out and then bend it back and then they go, yeah, I've done it. The proper way to do it is, because you cannot get a Phillips head screwdriver or even a right head screwdriver into this little screw, what you've got to do is undo the Phillips head screw underneath the control, separate the control, then undo this bolt so that this bracket can slide down here. Once you get this down here, then you'll be out of the way of this part of a clip-on and you'll be able to fit a Phillips head, or at least a 90-degree Phillips head screwdriver into here to try and get it out. Having a look at the replacement OEM bolt that screw they use now, that's how deep it is. So even if you do have a short Phillips head screwdriver to get it in, trying to get it out from that location is almost probably impossible. So it does look as though you do have to remove these controls to get this down here. Okay, so what I've done is I've shifted this up here, so now I can get the screwdriver into this area here. Let's go for it. Okay, so that's how it's done the proper way. So just look at how much that's aged compared to this new one. Okay, so I've slid the mount for this clutch back down. That's because now I want to unwind the clutch a bit so that I can get that chock out from the clutch itself. Turn this so that this can then pull out. So you've basically given enough clutch cable slack to get this part out. And as you can see, when I rotate this around, it's got the stopper. So I'm just maneuvering this lever around to the point in time that I can actually get that out. It's being a little bit stubborn. I might have to get there you go. So that's released now. So the next thing I'm going to do is give that cable and whole area a wipe down and then grease the area ready for the new pivot pin to go in. Alright, so before I go to put this lever back in, one thing that's important to note is that on the factory clutch lever there is a cylindrical spacer that goes in here. This is important because when you go to put the pin in to hold the whole assembly together, if you don't have this in here, what will happen is if you tighten it and put it back in and go to start the bike, the switch that is here for the clutch start on the bike won't function properly and the bike won't start. Go to put this lever in, you have to make sure that that clutch, the switch is pushed in and it's seated in properly so that this metal stopper that closes the switch door basically has the switch back properly. So two things you got to do: put this cylinder in and make sure that it's got some grease in it, or at least grease on the pin. Push with your left index finger underneath, push the switch in, making sure that that cylinder stays in there and goes back into place. You can feel the switches, you know, as I said, pushed up against that door. Then when you've got that in, everything will be proper. So in goes this part here. Now there's a sleeve in this thing, that's why this side doesn't have a Phillips head screwdriver yet. Once you rotate it and you'll feel it click in, then it stays stationary, and all you need to do is just tighten the 10mm nut from underneath. Cool, so that feels a lot better now. Which basically will involve rotating this dial until it's at the correct pickup point, or rotating it back either way until you've got it right. Okay, so right now it's at 0, so it's actually way too close. So I'm just going to try dialing that back 1 and a bit and just see what happens. So that's now at about the 25% pickup point. So I'll just go another dial. I'll just do 1 full turn. It might need to go back, but we'll have a look. So that's good. It's about halfway, or just under halfway. Yeah, it's about halfway. So that's it. Involved, if you're going to do this replacement of this part, you don't have to if you don't want to, but because it involved undoing these controls, you have to get back on the bike and just make sure that you've got the levers at the right angle that you like them. Then tighten this bolt. This is the bolt that controls the lever assembly angle, if that's the right word. Lightly do those 2 Phillips head screws onto here like I was saying. Adjust the length as much as you want it. And check that these aren't done up too tight so that they have some give if the bike does fall. In this case, because I've put aftermarket bar ends on, it's not going to reach them, but you never know what you're going to hit that could hit there.